wake up. Before your eyes fully open, your hand reaches for your phone. A screen lights up, notifications, messages, short videos, infinite feeds. Minutes vanish, then hours, and somehow you feel nothing. Not peace, not excitement, just a dull weight in your chest, a quiet pressure behind your eyes. You're entertained, but you're not fulfilled, connected, but deeply alone. You've got more comfort than any generation in history, more food, more technology, more freedom, more options. So, why do you feel empty? Why does silence make you uncomfortable? Why does boredom feel unbearable? Why does your mind crave stimulation like a starving animal? You scroll to escape the discomfort. But the scrolling is what creates the discomfort. This is the modern paradox. A world overflowing with pleasure, producing a generation drowning in numbness. But listen closely. This isn't weakness, this isn't a personal failure, this is a biological trap, and its name is dopamine. Dopamine has been misunderstood. It's not the chemical of happiness, it's not the molecule of joy. Dopamine is the molecule of desire. It doesn't say, "You are satisfied." It whispers, "More." Again, just one more. Neuroscientists call dopamine a motivational signal. In simple terms, it doesn't reward the pleasure. It drives the chase. Dopamine spikes before the pleasure, not after. That's why anticipation feels stronger than fulfillment. That's why buying feels better than owning. That's why the next video feels more exciting than the one you're watching right now. Let that sink in. Your brain is designed to seek, not to arrive. And here's the danger. Your brain must maintain balance. This balance is called homeostasis. Psychiatrist Dr. Anna Lemke describes it as a pleasure-pain scale. Imagine a balance scale. On one side, pleasure. On the other, pain. When pleasure rises too high, the brain pushes back. Not instantly, but inevitably. Every dopamine spike is followed by a drop below baseline. The higher the spike, the deeper the crash. Excess pleasure always creates future pain. That's why constant stimulation leads to anxiety. Why endless novelty leads to exhaustion. Why comfort breeds dissatisfaction. You're not broken. Your brain is working perfectly. The problem is the environment. Never before in human history have we had access to such instant, concentrated, artificial dopamine. Your brain was never built for this. In the 1950s, psychologist B.F. Skinner ran an experiment. He placed rats inside a box. Inside the box was a lever. When the rat pressed the lever, it received a reward. Food, sugar, pleasure. The rats learned quickly. They pressed the lever again and again and again. Some pressed it until exhaustion, until they ignored food, ignored rest, ignored survival. They became addicted. This became known as the Skinner box. Later, another experiment emerged, Rat Park. When rats were placed in rich environments, space, play, connection, they pressed the lever far less. The lesson was simple. Addiction thrives in empty environments. Now look around. You're living inside a digital Skinner box. Your phone is the lever. Your reward is novelty, validation, distraction. Every swipe is a gamble. Every notification is a pellet. Algorithms aren't neutral. They're engineered to exploit your dopamine system. They learn your fears, your desires, your weaknesses, and feed them back to you on an infinite loop. You're not scrolling because you're curious. You're scrolling because your biology has been hijacked. Just like the rat, pressing the lever again and again until nothing feels good anymore. This problem isn't new. 2,000 years ago, the Stoics warned us. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire on earth. He had wealth, power, pleasure, and yet, He constantly reminded himself to resist indulgence. Why? Because the Stoics understood something modern society forgot. Excess weakens the soul. Temperance wasn't about denial. It was about mastery, to enjoy without becoming dependent, to possess without being possessed. They practiced voluntary discomfort, cold bath, simple food, silence, solitude. Not because pain is noble, but because restraint builds strength. Rome didn't fall from hardship. It collapsed under excess. Luxury softened discipline. Comfort replaced character. Different empire, same decay. The Stoics didn't fear suffering. They feared indulgence, because a man who can't say no to pleasure is not free. So how do you escape the dopamine trap? Not with motivation, not with hacks, with discipline. This is the protocol. Step 1. Remove artificial spikes. For 7 to 14 days, eliminate social media scrolling, short-form content, junk food, pornography, constant background noise. Not forever. Just long enough to reset your baseline. Step 2. Expect withdrawal. You will feel bored, irritable, restless, anxious. This isn't failure, this is recovery. Boredom isn't an enemy. It's the gateway to clarity. When stimulation disappears, your inner world returns. Step 3. Replace, don't just remove. Add low dopamine activities. Walking, reading, writing, strength training, silence. At first, they feel dull. Then, they feel meaningful. Step 4. Sit with your thoughts. No phone, no music, no escape. This is where most people quit. Because distraction was hiding something. Fear, grief, unresolved pain. But this is also where transformation begins. You don't find yourself in noise. You find yourself in stillness. Here's the truth. Happiness isn't found in pleasure. It's found in control. True freedom isn't doing whatever you want. It's wanting less. When you master dopamine, you master attention. When you master attention, you master your life. You stop reacting. You start directing. The world will always offer distraction. The question is whether you will consume it or rise above it. Remember this. A disciplined mind is a dangerous mind. A silent mind is a powerful mind. A restrained mind is an unstoppable mind. This is your invitation. Step out of the trap. Reclaim your biology. Rebuild your depth. And if something inside you stirred while listening to this, then you already know the path. It's time to unlock brilliance.